What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Jey Uso response to the most overrated wrestler award. Is Finn Balor now a babyface? WWE wrestlers are frustrated with creative. A former WWE tag team are now all elite. An ex-UFC and WWE star being released from prison. WWE gave away the masked man's identity. Stephanie Vaquer goes public with WWE wrestler relationship. Randy Orton goes viral for the most wholesome moment ever. Logan Paul and controversy again, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at Jey Uso responds to the most overrated wrestler award. Jey Uso's 2025 was packed with career-defining moments, but according to Observer newsreaders, it came with plenty of criticism. In the latest fan-voted awards, Jey was named the most overrated wrestler of 2025, pulling in 322 votes. He finished ahead of CM Punk with 177 votes, Jade Cargill with 89 votes, Evil with 44, and Seth Rollins with 42 to take the unwanted honor. Now on paper, the results feel a little surprising. Jey won the Men's Royal Rumble, captured the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, and then later added the World Tag Team titles with Jey Uso. That's a massive year by any standard, but from early 2025 into 2026, Jey has become one of WWE's most polarizing names. A wave of online criticism followed some of his biggest wins. YouTube clips of his Royal Rumble victory, his WrestleMania 41 title win, and even his Raw Battle Royal triumph were flooded with heavy dislike ratios. Many fans felt those moments came at the expense of favorites like LA Knight. For some critics, that push felt forced, as they argue his character leans too heavily on the yeet catchphrase without enough in-ring evolution. It also doesn't help that he's botched numerous times throughout the year, and let's face it, whenever there is a botch, it is a huge story. Others believe WWE have doubled down despite clear resistance online. But is this just an internet thing? As live crowds still react loudly to his entrances, his merchandise continues to sell, and on Instagram, Jey made it clear he's not bothered by the most overrated tag. If anything, he seems to be embracing it. Now, instead of firing back or getting defensive, as he usually does, he brushed it off with a short message saying, "Y'all really love me." He actually didn't go on a rant or have a breakdown, but the same awards also labeled Booker T as the worst television announcer and WWE as the worst promotion of the year, showing just how split fans can be. Is he the most overrated wrestler in wrestling right now? Next up is Finn Balor now a babyface. Finn Balor may have just signaled something major about his future, and it didn't happen on television. At a recent WWE live event in Lubbock, Balor took on Javon Evans in a match that quickly became secondary to everything that happened around it. Instead of entering to the Judgment Day theme, Balor caught fans off guard by bringing back his old babyface music, Catch Your Breath, the theme closely tied to his original main roster run. For longtime viewers, that song means more than just nostalgia. It represents a completely different version of Finn Balor. Inside the ring, the shift continued as Balor worked the match as babyface, did his babyface entrance motions, and secured the win. But in the aftermath, he helped Javon Evans to his feet afterward and raised the iconic Too Sweet gesture. This moment didn't feel random, as house shows are often used to test reactions, and this one felt intentional. The overall presentation pointed into one direction, a potential move away from the Judgment Day and now back to being a babyface again. If that's the case, it could lead to a major split, possibly building toward a WrestleMania showdown with Dominic Mysterio. There have even been subtle hints on recent television as during his match with CM Punk, Balor briefly showed babyface tendencies before snapping back into his heel character. If WWE is heading in this direction, the coming weeks should make that shift more obvious on screen. Right now, nothing is official, but between the entrance music change, the in-ring presentation, and the post-match respect shown to Evans, it clearly feels like something is brewing. Next up, WWE wrestlers are frustrated with creative. WrestleMania 42 ticket sales have already led to visible changes, including a 25% discount promotion now being offered at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. But a bigger conversation is happening behind the scenes. After reports surfaced that TKO officials were unhappy with the current pace of ticket distribution, Sean Ross Sapp was asked directly whether the concern is real within WWE. According to Sapp, it absolutely is. Speaking during a Fightful Select Q&A, he mentioned, yeah, there is. There's certainly some people that wish that the creative would do better, as in ticket sales would do better. I reported extensively on the comp situation and how many talent were just so frustrated, especially now that the tickets aren't moving, that they're not able to get comps to the degree that they did. The issue of reduced ticket comps has reportedly been frustrating talent for months. Wrestlers who previously had easier access to complimentary tickets for friends and family have seen that access tighten up. With tickets now moving slower than expected, that frustration has intensified. Sapp added that some performers are no longer relying on company policy and are instead negotiating those perks directly into their contracts. I will say it's loosened up a little bit. I've just waited for the day that I hear talent say we're just all working it into our deals. Some of them are and some of them were. I think it was even Roman Reigns who advised some wrestlers like, if you want it, don't expect it, work it into your contract. And that's what a lot of wrestlers are doing now. Now, if talent are formally negotiating ticket comps into their deals, it signals that this is more than just a minor inconvenience. It's become a contractual consideration. With ticket distribution trailing last year's pace, internal concern appears to be shifting towards structural adjustments rather than quiet frustration. Right now, WWE is probably continuing to change the plans as we go along throughout the month. Hell, they could have even already changed the plans for Elimination Chamber leading up to WrestleMania. One thing is definitely clear right now, Triple H was not happy with the original plans, but flip-flopping them every single week isn't going to help either. We're in February, WWE really should have concrete plans for WrestleMania in place right now. If they don't, the show is in trouble. Next up, an ex-WWE and UFC star being released from prison. Now it seems that former UFC heavyweight champion and former WWE star Cain Velasquez is expected to be released on parole on February 15th. Velasquez has actually been in custody since 2022 after being charged in connection with a shooting incident stemming from allegations that a man Harry Galate Jr. had molested his young son. This led to Velasquez carrying out the high-speed chase and shooting, during which he wounded an unrelated individual rather than the intended target. Velasquez ultimately avoided a potential life sentence by accepting a plea deal and was given a 5-year prison sentence. With time already served and possible reductions for good behavior, his release has come earlier than the full term. Whilst he's expected to leave prison, Velasquez will still face several years of supervised parole. And yes, he is a former WWE star. He didn't exactly go on main event and face Apollo Crews in a match. He faced Brock Lesnar in a major pay-per-view. Next up, our former WWE tag team are now All Elite. Now, after losing the Knockouts Tag Team Championships to the Elegance brand last month, the Inspiration parted ways with TNA, and now the WWE Rumors started almost immediately. Many expected them to show up at AEW Grand Slam Australia. That didn't happen. But later the same day, the duo appeared at AEW House Rules in Brisbane, Australia, and that's where the speculation officially ended. The former TNA Knockout Tag Team Champions made their AEW debut competing against Frankie B and Aisha. After the match, they grabbed the mic and officially confirmed that they are now All Elite. As of now, there's no word on contract length or additional details surrounding the deal, but we're wishing them the best of luck. Next up, WWE gave away the Masked Man's identity. A speculation is growing that Grayson Waller may have been the Masked Man who attacked Austin Theory on last week's Raw. Many fans believe they spotted a detail that truly gives it away. After Raw, screenshots began circulating online and viewers zoomed in on the attacker's footwear, a specific pair of black shoes. What was the reason it stood out? Well, Waller was seen wearing the exact same style during Clash in Paris weekend. Side-by-side comparisons quickly made the rounds, with many pointing out that the match looked too exact to be a coincidence. It's also worth noting from a storyline perspective, WWE will eventually reveal the real attacker to be Seth Rollins as part of a larger creative direction. However, based on the details fans have highlighted, particularly the footwear comparison, many believe that Grayson Waller was the one who actually carried the attack out during the segment. With eagle-eyed fans catching even the smallest details, WWE would have likely advised Waller to be cautious about not giving anything away, maybe even changing his footwear the next time he appears on WWE television. Next up, Stephanie Vaquer goes public with WWE wrestler relationship. A love was definitely in the air for Valentine's Day, and two rising WWE stars made it officially public. Stephanie Vaquer and Miles Bourne confirmed the relationship with a heartfelt Instagram post shared on February 14th. As the pair posted a cozy photo together, comments poured in within minutes congratulating the couple and celebrating the news. Bourne shared a heartfelt Instagram post praising Vaquer, referring to her as mi amor, aka my love, and mi campeona, my champion. Then in May of 2025, fellow NXT star Obafemi added fuel to the speculation during a promotional segment ahead of NXT Battleground. He casually referenced to Bourne as Stephanie Vaquer's boyfriend, bringing their real-life relationship into the spotlight. Since then, the two have appeared together across various social media posts, but now with this Valentine's Day confirmation, there's no more guessing. It's official, and we're wishing the couple all the best. Next up, Randy Orton goes viral for the most wholesome moment. Randy Orton showed a different side of himself this weekend, and it had nothing to do with the ring. On Valentine's Day, Randy Orton took his daughter Brooklyn to her very first daddy-daughter dance at school. The moment was shared by his wife Kim Orton, who posted adorable photos that quickly began circulating on social media. In the pictures, Orton is dressed sharply in formal attire, standing proudly beside Brooklyn, who looks stunning in a dress and enjoyed the special night together. Fans reacted warmly online, praising the Viper for embracing fatherhood and showing a softer side away from WWE cameras. We're just hoping that nobody got RKO'd at the end of the night. Next up, WWE faces backlash over a recent promo. The WWE has officially dulled things up ahead of AAA's OVERRATED tournament and is doing it with a heavy layer of satire. The company released a 64-second vignette featuring the so-called original El Grande Americano. In the video, he's delivering a message in Spanish accusing an unnamed rival of stealing his gimmick. The video is kind of over the top, and the original El Grande Americano is speaking fluent Spanish. "Hello, my name is El Grande Americano, a victim of identity theft. For the last 6 months, I've watched some guy running around impersonating a Mexican luchador, singing songs in Spanish, going so far as to date a Mexican woman, only to try and convince all of you being as authentic as me. This man doesn't know the history of Lucha Libre. He's a fraud. He's an imposter. I want you to all know with my victory in the Rey de Rey tournament, I will go on to win the sword, represent Lucha Libre, and become the new AAA Mega Champion. Viva Mexico, Viva Lucha Libre, and Viva El Grande Americano." That segment did its job for what it was, but that's not what people were angry about. Fans quickly began pointing out what they believed are obvious generative AI elements in the visuals. Some criticized WWE for leaning on artificial production techniques, calling it lazy for a billion-dollar company, especially after similar backlash in March of 2025. That was when Dominic Mysterio's AAA Mega title turned into the AEW Championship. Now others have pushed back on the criticism, arguing that the exaggerated visuals fit perfectly in the parody of the nature of the character. It's obvious Chad Gable can't speak fluent Spanish like this. Or maybe he's learned. But the production is supposed to be over the top, isn't it? We're talking about two men who aren't Mexican and playing a Mexican character. Why is AI the issue here? And finally, Logan Paul in controversy again. Logan Paul's rare Pikachu Illustrator PSA 10 card is back in the spotlight, but not just because of its value, but because of the controversy surrounding it. Paul purchased the card in 2021 for $5.275 million and even wore it during his WrestleMania entrance. It later became the centerpiece of Liquid Marketplace, a platform he co-founded that promoted fractional ownership of high-value collectibles. The idea was straightforward. Instead of buying the entire asset, investors could purchase digital tokens representing a share of it, but that's where the situation has now become complicated. Ontario regulators later accused Liquid Marketplace executives of running what they described as a multi-layer fraud. The allegations including selling unregistered securities, operating without proper license, misleading investors about the nature of the tokens, and misusing approximately $3 million in investor funds. Regulators argued that the platform functioned more like an internal database than true legal tokenization tied to enforceable ownership rights, and the platform eventually collapsed. And now that same Pikachu Illustrator card that is owned by Logan Paul is up for auction again, with the bidding already surpassing $6.6 million. The problem comes down to ownership rights. If the fractional tokens sold through the Liquid Marketplace did not legally transfer enforceable ownership of the physical card, then the investors may hold digital claims tied only to the platform, not the collectible itself. However, if investors were led to believe the tokens granted real ownership rights in the physical asset, selling it without resolving those claims could raise legal and contractual questions. Ultimately, everything hinges on what legal rights the tokens actually provide. So can people sue? Well, potentially yes, but it depends on what was promised and what can be proven. Investors could pursue action if they were misled, if the tokens qualify as unregistered securities, or if funds were misused. As such, backlash has now gone straight to Logan Paul. When Logan Paul put up a post on X saying, "Goodbye my friend, what a privilege it's been to be the owner of the greatest collectible in the world," a user wrote beneath it, "When will I get my share of the sale price given I was a fractional owner, Logan?" Logan ended up blocking him. So could Logan again be in trouble and be sued again? Logan Paul has been no stranger to controversy before, as the whole Crypto Zoo scandal led to a huge lawsuit. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.